Okay, so um, you'll remember that in November, we were able to begin this work with connecting to what looks like to be the 5D network that's coming alive. So a little bit of clarification here. So we just look around and we look at 3D reality and we call it Earth. And I've seen old spellings for it, and it's URTH, which I find very interesting. long ago, those who kind of tuned in on the inner planes called it Tara, Tara. The overlighting presence, the seventh dimensional presence, is Gaia. So we have Earth, Tara, Gaia. So when I referred to those, just to kind of give us a little bit of context here, what we're tuning into. Well, what happened was sometime in the history of this planet, and this planet by some is 550 million years old, getting seeded, star seeded, and that there was indeed a battle for who would be in control of this place. And one of our first recorded passed down memories is of one of Lemuria, well before Atlantis. And there was probably some civilization of some kind energetically, either etherically or in the more, I don't even know what realms, even before that, because this is supposedly the fourth or fifth world that we're living in now. So we're living in Control Earth, EARTH. Well, all the beautiful beings on the planet who've been working so hard, and the timing of everything, 5D Tara is really blossoming into 5D consciousness. So last November, when I was in Hawaii, this showed up. It's a really beautiful network that just skates across the world. And I'm beginning to see it deepen well into the earth, not just, across on the inner planes, like actually well into the earth. So we're at this place now where we want to participate in this. And I'm going to just see here. Let's go back a bit. So what we've done is we're working on igniting ourselves. We've done a lot of work. Some of you have been with me for a long time, and we've done a lot of work on our personal self so that we can hold the energy, the 5D energy. We've also done work for the planet. We've done work, since August in trying to mitigate the drought situation. It took an atmospheric river to get things moving, and we still do need more rain. We need kind of rain continuing on. We're letting things dry out a little bit. So I want you just to kind of look at this one illustration here and just understand that you're a being that is now become aware of having chakras and having a field and being able to hold a seventh dimensional energy specific to you, as well as the Christ energy, and as well as the 5D energy when we work collectively, the crystal and earth, and learning to hold the I ams in our fields and to be able to move that I am across the planet in co-participation with other groups that are working across the planet. So we're at a turning point, a kind of a collective turning point when it is time to really now become channels for very specific frequency modalities that can come into the planet and work not only for the planet, but for you. And so our full moon last Saturday, we ignited one of these re-encodements. And I wanted to show you what we did and see if maybe today we're going to get to participate again in that process. And I think it would be good for us all to be able to do this. And you can always go and let yourself move through that meditation. I did it again. I found it to be profound, and actually took time to transcribe it, which I sent out to those of you who are in our full moon and new moon work. So we go to kind of this next level. So we've been working on our own chakra system. We've been working sometimes with the constellatory galactic frequencies. We've been working with Gaia and Tara, the avatars, as seventh dimensional, but there's this whole other way that we exist as divine beings. And I'm going to explain a little bit about this. This work I was exposed to in my 11 years in an esoteric Buddhic planetary healing group that met once a week. And a lot of esoteric psychology on a lot of the work that is done on the inner planes can be tracked through the works of Alice Bailey. She was an automatic writer, didn't have computers in, hand wrote everything out, got it to the publisher. She brought through the you could call them either an adept or an avatar. Well, I would say an adept or a master. And this one was Dwa Kul, who was also called the Tibetan. So you can pick up her books and literally you just kind of have to open a page and hope that that's what you need to read, because it's very, very dense in its delineation of what is existing on these other planes. But now we're getting introduced to it, and I wanted to share with you a little bit before we do our meditation. So if you look in the picture on the right, you'll see now we're calling this not the Earth star, but the Tara star, and aligning it specifically with these node points that are part of her original. See, this is the original grid. The new grid is actually expanding and looking more like it has 6 sides. I worked with this grid 40 years ago, with this particular group and beings from the other planes. So I recognize this grid. I know it's important that we at least be introduced to it and understand it and see if we can find our way into it from time to time. So we are now calling the Earth star the Tara star. And then, of course, we connect, through our feet. It's not on the surface or right under the feet. It's actually into the planet. And as we move up through our chakras, we've all been acquainted with the soul star, which is the initiating presence that your soul presence from the higher planes can come and make contact. So to understand planes, we understand first, it relates to density. So the physical plane is plane number 1. Plane number 2 is the emotional plane, and it includes the astral body. The plane number 1, by the way, includes the etheric body. And at some point, I'm going to find the chart and send it out to you all just for a visual orientation. Then we go to the mental plane, and you can see definitely that in terms of density, they get less and less dense. So if you look at thoughts versus emotions, you can definitely attune to less density. Second. So from there, we go to the Buddhic plane. And the Buddhic plane has to do with the heart, okay? The heart center. It has to do with that emanation beyond the mind, where we begin to feel, sense, know. It's also a plane of intuition. We begin to know that we are more than body, emotions, and mind. So the Buddhic plane then is called the fourth plane. The fifth plane is the Atmic, and it's the plane where the soul, the oversoul, shall we say, resides. And it is at this plane that we are now being invited to work as an overlighting guidance. See, you all should have beautiful guidance available to you every day. Even on mundane things, right? Should I eat this? No. Should I go here? Yes. You all deserve to have that, a strong intuitive guidance for all the work that you've done, all the clearing. And so we want to open these channels so that even if you just put your hand on your heart and you just stop for a moment and stop your mind, seeing if you can call in guidance. If you are able to muscle test, very quick. But some people, not their thing. So we want to start strengthening this particular flow. So you can see that the Atmic plane, we were gifted or blessed with, I think is a better word, this flow in our last new moon meditation, which I strongly suggest you have a visit to if you haven't yet. Now, this ray came in, a very specific ray came in through the soul star into the back of our third eye. So there's a root to the third eye. So we think third eye here. No, if you go way in, there's the root of it. It's almost conical shape. And there's also an emanation that goes to the back side of us. So we want to go to the root, bring this Atmic ray, this ray from the Atmic plane, I should say. And then we were instructed to take it to the right brain, left brain, split it. And the right brain is your logical intelligence, and the right brain is more your creative emotional intelligence. And so those are really important to have as we move through this time so that we can make thoughtful yet caring and creative decisions as we receive guidance. From there, we were to bring it through, and this was really new to me. This is very interesting. Right to the top of your sternum where your clavicles meet. And that's it's almost like a energetic anchor for the existential self. So thinking that this whole torso has to do things and move to protect the whole neck and brain part. So it's a little below the throat chakra, but it's a place where the emotional existential self is anchored here. It's one of our points. From there, we move down to these side centers on the rib cage, livers on the right and spleens on the left. And these are power centers of their own. One's a little more masculine, one's a little more feminine in that how we express ourselves on the planet, but they're equally important to energize, to have to be healthy, to be able to have kind of the left is more self-awareness and also self-care and esteem, shall we say, like believing in this vehicle, believing in your soul, believing in that which comes forth as you. And the right side is more kind of a power center and kind of another one of, it's a energizing action center. So we want to give those a little love. And then from there, we just send a ray straight down through the legs to the Tara star, so that we're now bringing this Atmic originating ray all the way through these channels and into Tara. So why just, here's what I've come to learn. There cannot be any intercession from other beings except by guidance and by invitation and by being channels. In other words, this planet probably would have, things would have happened quite a bit, time ago, if there could have been either, star people, extraterrestrial people, aliens, the avatars, if they could have had a total got what we'll say ruling of this planet, would have been much different. But here we are, and we're signing up to do the work. Okay, so I wanted to just give this to you, and I believe I did send it out. I will send it out again to this particular group of people, many of which sign up for the full moon as well. So we have a beautiful, nice crew of people here, and I'm excited now to see where we get to go with this information. So the idea is to re-encode you, but also allow those re-encoding energies to move into the Tara neural network. Okay, so please, thank you for listening to this and participating. Thank you for being here. And so now let's take some time, and we want to energize not only the neural network, but we want to energize through time travel your week ahead to bring the lessons, yes, but emphasis on the blessings. I like that part, because we all need some encouragement, don't we? Okay, let's close our eyes. Find the top of your head and move the top of your head a little higher. And use your breath to breathe in your participation into our field and to co-create the field. And use the exhale to let go of anything that is bumping around in your density realms, body, emotions, and mental planes. And use these next few breaths to ignite your divinity, your sacred self. The holiness that you hold deep within your being. And of course, love, love, love. Allowing that to expand your heart. Gifting to yourself love. And gifting this love, love, love to your mind and emotional body. And allowing that love to energize the formation on the inner planes of your crystalline body. And collectively now we light up our field of influence. Opening heart, mind, and soul to the beloved. That which loves unconditionally. As the soul I love. As the soul I am. As the soul I open to the oneness. As the one I am one. I am love, love, love. As love, I am. And collectively, through these beautiful declaratives, we create and illuminate an ample channel from the higher planes to move specific re-encodements into this earth plane, energizing the Tara network with us participating co-creatively, superseding the control network. You see, we want to energize our participation so that when we offer an intent in alignment with the one for the good of all, it is registered. And allow yourself now to align with your soul star about 8 inches to 13 inches above your head. And illuminate that soul star. Align with it as it. I am the soul. Own it. As the soul, I am one with the one. And we are being asked today to create a giant collective soul star, the IC soul star, for the greater good. And we allow that soul star to be placed above our perception of this field. So each one of us now adds our presence to this group soul star well above us. There we go. Add your light and presence. And already the ray of active intelligence begins to move from the Atmic plane through this channel that we agree to and into the group soul star. Re-encoding. Each and every one of you towards the awakened self. And what's interesting is that there is actually in this channel a blocking system, kind of an installation. And so we're going to clear through that today. I view these, I've seen them in individuals, never seen them in a group, but it's so much light. They look a bit like Brillo pads. So we're just going to weave our consciousness gently through it. And that is clearing now. From the soul star, this collective soul star, we now invite individual re-encodement rays to move towards your soul star, towards your crown, into your crown. And if there is one of these installations, we now give attention to clearing them in you. There's a bit of untangling going on here. So these entanglements have contributed to your reality thought forms, how you perceive the world in a way that does not actually work for you and does not promote your rapid evolution. So we're just entangling those, just a few more. Good. Very, very good. Now allowing your portion of the ray, spiritual intelligence, to come now right to the root of your third eye. So you want to go back a ways in the skull. Going to the top of it. And now split the ray to move into right brain, left brain. And your eyes can move to the right, and your eyes can move to the left as a way of coordinating this. And now pulsing to right brain, left brain simultaneously. Anchoring there so that as you are making decisions, you have access, if you choose, for an overlighting guidance. All right, and then bringing those two rays down just below the throat chakra and inside, almost where one might think the top of the torso and the rib cage might be, just in front of the spine, yet on the inner planes. And allowing this to energize your awareness towards self-care of the vehicle. And this could even promote some regenerative response in some. Anchor it in the correct spot. It's a tiny bit behind, the sensation is a bit behind the sternum, the very top of the sternum. Right there. Self-care of the vehicle, body, emotion, mind, all are included. Excellent. Now moving that atmic ray to the liver, to the spleen, just on the rib cage, generally in that area. Anchor it where you intuit where to anchor it. and allowing it to heal and regenerate anything on the physical plane. In other words, allow this ray to influence and upgrade and function. And from there, the ray moves down through the sides of the torso, top of the thighs, down through the knees, down through the ankles, out the bottom of the feet, and into Tara, star chakra. Now, the process here over the next period of time may include clearing karma. We carry a lot of karma in the lower half of our body. Hips, knees, ankles. Hips, knees, ankles. And so allow this to move through there and activate for your purveyance any residual karma. And some of these may be hard to track because they may be off planet. They may be a little bit unrecognizable at first. But just allowing that possibility to arise and that you be gifted with the guidance needed to clear and resolve. There, right there, good. And you might want to slightly wiggle your toes to activate the bottom of your feet. So that the energy is encouraged to move through there. About a foot below your feet into Tara, star. And observe how she receives it. And then from here, in order to encourage a deepening of this, we're going to create a collective Tara star, just as we've created a collective soul star. So now projecting this ray towards the center of our collective here and deeper. So that as we live and breathe, we can continue to be a channel for these re-encoding frequencies. Keep wiggling your toes, it helps. And then what you may be feeling is love coming back from that Taurus star up. You may feel a sensation or have the feeling of love coming back to you. And pull that up into your field. Our work today was to actively establish a channel for you and for Tara of guidance that as we work collectively, week by week, we have a easy thoroughfare here that benefits you on the way through. So the guidance says that we are complete for today. Just take a moment to just enjoy this presence. And if you wish to move some energy through your week, bringing that channel of guidance, right brain, left brain, heart, essence, self, bringing that guidance with you through the week. Okay, and with that, I say namaste. Namaste to all of you. Thank you for your presence, your participation, and your power.